and mute my mic.
Can we begin?
Yes, you're good to go. This is Philippe, and Philippe, this is Boris from Boulderville.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
Boris. How are you?
How are you?
Fine,
Please.
thank you. How are
Please, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background, please?
Okay, for sure. And I love your hat, the LA hat.
Yeah, of course. The world.
Yes, a little bit about my background. I'm originally from Mexico City.
Okay.
My father's Lebanese, which is why I have a French name. And my mother was American. But I was born and raised in Mexico City and in the United States. I've been acting off and on since I was 7 years old. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
In a few words, can you talk a little about the main plot of this film?
Yeah, the main plot is about a narco who was born in the United States, hence the name American Sicario. And out of pure passion for being a narco, he went to Mexico to join the narcos. So he didn't have a real need to become a narco. It was not out of necessity, which a lot of narcos, become who they are because out of necessity. So that's the main plot. Really, it's about a guy who becomes a narco out of the love for it.
Can you talk a little about the origins of this movie, the inspiration?
Well, the inspiration is that, I always wanted to play a narco. Really, it comes from me as an actor, wanting to become a narco on screen, not in real life, but on screen. Yeah, no. I don't want it, not in real life, but on screen. And I thought that I could really play one well because I'm Mexican myself, because I've met a few of these people in real life in Mexico. And I thought that it would be fun to explore that world artistically.
What was the most difficult scene for you to play in this movie?
Wow. I would have to say the most difficult thing, apart from the production side, which was during COVID. So it was really hard. We had to go shoot outside of Los Angeles, and we had to go to Las Vegas, and we had to do it in 11 days. So the whole movie was shot in 11 days. So that was incredible. And the most difficult thing as far as acting is concerned is having to put on so much weight. I was very, very overweight for the part. I think I put like 80 pounds in kilos. It's like maybe 30 kilos or something, which is a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
Please, do you have an anecdote to tell us about the filming of this movie?
An anecdote. Let me think of one. I think it was maybe one of the funny things that we were shooting with Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
And he was very tired. It was already late at night. It was already like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and we're there. And then we decided to do a joke on Danny Trejo, where I would do one of the scenes, but with a German accent, So I went into full German, and Danny's looking at me going, what is going on? So there was silence. We were all waiting for him, and he was so confused, and he's rubbing his eyes, trying to figure out what he was hearing. And it was maybe one of the funny, like a blooper. It was an outtake that we did.
So what can you tell us about your collaboration with Danny Trejo?
The collaboration with Danny Trejo was incredible. They're very special. I mean, he's such a big, prominent person in the Latin American community and in the Mexican and all Latinos around the world. And as a side note, between you and me, he's such a nice guy. He does so much for the community. He really feeds the homeless, and he does a lot of things. So I had a lot of admiration for him. So collaborating with him was really incredible. He has such a presence on camera. And it was difficult for me to stay calm because I'm like, oh, this is Danny Trejo. And I was nervous. So I had to do acting at some point. I had to relax. So it was exciting. And at the same time, it was an honor.
What can you tell us about the filming locations?
The filming locations were in the desert of Las Vegas, and also in the city of Las Vegas. We wanted that because we wanted to do a lot of desert shots, a lot of shooting in the desert. And we also had a lot of great locations, some houses and mansions and things, you know, so that was really we shot exclusively there, with one scene before here in Los Angeles where we had a yacht, and it was, you know, one of the scenes with Maurice Compte. But other than that, it was all Las Vegas.
What was your main inspiration to create a character? Some movies, some books, some series?
Because I would, you know, a lot of all the narcos I studied, you know, from Chapo to Pablo Escobar to that. And, you know, a lot of these people are very similar. You know, we put narcos and robbers and mafia in different categories, but to me, they're all the same. You know, so I took, you know, Al Capone and the other one. And then, of course, I put an element of myself, of wanting to find myself in the character and wanting to find the character myself. So it's a little bit of things, a lot of things. Go ahead.
What are the good ingredients for you to create such thriller or drama movie? The characters, the screenplay, the place?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, what do you mean? Like what's...
If you want to success to make a good movie as this one, which are the main keys to create this one? The screenplay, the characters, the place, the story?
I think, man, I think it's everything, to be perfectly honest with you. Everything is equally important. You know, script is king, as they say, but then the characters also need to be relatable. People need to identify with the characters, but it also needs to be well shot. If not, people aren't going to put attention into it. So all of it is really, really important. Every element is equally important. It's like a chain. Every single one, even a small chain, holds the other one. So, you know, they're all important.
You play the main character in this movie, and you are also the executive producer. Can you talk a little about your duty to be a good executive producer for this movie?
I think, yeah, it was very challenging to do both. You know, this project started with me. Was my idea of wanting to do this project. Okay. And I think a big and important ingredient in being successful is hiring the right people. You have to hire them, and then you also have to be confident in their ability to be able to do the job. So you have to trust them, because if you're too on top of them, then they're not doing their job either. So you have to also let them do their job. So it's a good balance of being involved, but at the same time being detached and trusting. You also have to be very persistent, because you know, you're going to meet a lot of resistance in this business. So you have to be, you know, consistent.
What did you learn and retain from this movie?
You mean from a producer standpoint or from the story?
Both actor and producer.
Wow, from producer, I have a list. I have a book this thick. Especially from the production. Oof. Yeah. With contracts and agreements and percentages and things, I can't even name all the things that I learned as a producer. As an actor, man, I learned how important it is to be connected to your scene partner, which, I mean, you know these things as an actor, but you know, you do a movie and it reminds you of how important it is to always be connected and to be, you know, putting your action on the other character. Because film, sometimes you film it differently, and sometimes it's by yourself, and you can be very into yourself, and this makes the acting not very good. So you have to always be on the other person.
And my last questions, which are your current projects?
I have a lot of things in the works. I'm trying to get a lot of things off the ground, as they say. The next one is a project called Brando, like Marlon Brando. It's about a man, yeah. It's about a man who suffers from schizoaffective disorder. Okay. And he believes that he's Marlon Brando. So he thinks, you know, he speaks like Marlon Brando, and the mother keeps him downstairs in the basement. She doesn't let him go get treatment with the doctor, and then he escapes the house finally, and the adventures begin.
Thanks,
So
Philippe.
it's different.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Merci. Bye-bye.
Au revoir.
Happy holidays to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye to everybody.